the perfect way to close a cereal box. Now, take the corners and bring it together. Just like so. And voila.
Wait, a home appliance minute? I need to try this right now! Because I don't think you know, I hate cleaning blenders so much! They're so hard to clean, and one time I accidentally left this inside and I nearly cut my hand in half. You know I have mental illness when stuff like this gets me excited. Are you ready?
You're now witnessing all of my sins washing away.
So apparently, I've been using trash bags wrong my entire life. You're not supposed to do that. See this? The seam is inside out. I did not know that I didn't know that. Apparently, you put it on like a hat, okay? I will demonstrate. Open it up, put it on, okay? And then when it's taut, had no idea.
Okay, I saw this on TikTok. Take a Ziploc of hot water and let's see if this works. Shut the front door! In 2 seconds, my kids aren't gonna be late to school. This is awesome. Guys, this is crazy.
Dude, I was warming up rice, and my mom goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm warming up rice. What does it look like I'm doing?" She's like, "There's a trick to warming up rice." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's the trick?" She goes, "When you warm up the rice, you stick an ice cube on top. The ice cube won't melt, and it'll steam and reheat the rice." What? I had no idea that ice doesn't melt in the microwave. So, let's try this. Alright, so here's my rice, and here's my ice cube. So, I'm gonna put it in here for like, maybe like 1 minute. Okay, so this is 30 seconds. Woo! There it is. It hasn't melted too much. Let's try another 30. Alright, here's 1 minute. There it is. Bro.
Dude, so a second grader comes in my office, right? She's like getting a band-aid, strikes a conversation with me, one of the little chatty ones. She goes, "I learned something super cool today in class." I was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" She goes, "You know the alphabet song?" I was like, "Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G." She's like, "It's the same song as Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." So I sing it in my head, "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, A, B, C, D, E." Dude! What? I was like, "That's super cool." Like, she's like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?" Well, I better get back to class. When she left, I literally fell over and I went to go look up both songs. They are the same tune. Go look it up. I know you want to look. I can't. Dude, I was today years old when I found out this. So you're typing in all caps on accident, right? And you're like, "Oh, now I have to erase the whole sentence and redo everything." No, you don't. Control A to select all. Shift F3 to make it all lowercase. Where have I been?
I was today years old when I discovered that you can lock doors that don't have locks. Push in and twisty twist. Door no open. Twisty and pull. Open sesame seeds.
Dude, so my fiance just told me that if you put shaving cream on the mirrors, it prevents the mirrors from fogging up during hot showers. What? And since I'm about to shower, I'm gonna try this. Here is what I'm gonna use. So we're gonna just do this. and rub it on the mirrors. And apparently you just keep rubbing until the mirror is clean. Okay, so I'm almost done rubbing it through. So these don't have shaving cream on them, and these do. And I'm not done cleaning these yet. Okay, so I'm done with these. I'm gonna turn on the hot water, as hot as it can go. Okay, so it's super steamy in here. Let me show you the results. So this is the mirror without shaving cream. This is the mirror I did with shaving cream.
Let's talk about slicing tomatoes. For me, the intuitive way to look at a tomato is that this is right side up and I should cut top to bottom. But when you cut it that way, the seeds fall out and you're left with this donut looking tomato, leaving me with less juiciness on my sandwiches and seeds all over my cutting board. But just watch this. We're gonna turn it on its side and cut this direction, and then we're gonna have perfect slices every single time. I hope this gets more views than something I spent 5 hours on.
Bro, so my aunt comes over yesterday and I'm putting away my meal prep and I'm using the saran wrap to cover one of the pots. And she's like, you know, saran wrap's supposed to go in the freezer, right? I go, who? She goes, yeah, it's supposed to go in the freezer. So I put it in the freezer. Let me show you. This is for the non-believers. You see it's like cold. Bro, where have I been? It wouldn't have unwrinkled that easily if I didn't put it in the freezer.
Do you know if you're right or left brain dominant? I want to give you a crazy simple 2-second test that you can use right now to figure out which one you really are. All right, this is how crazy simple this is. You're going to take your hands, fold them together just like this, making sure your thumbs are wrapped around. That's step one. Now here's the trick. If your right thumb goes underneath your left thumb like that, that means you are a right brain dominant person. But if your left thumb goes under your right thumb like this means you are a left brain dominant person. So the question is, what does this mean for you? Left brain people tend to be more analytical, logical, methodical. They like numbers, data, details. Right brain people tend to be more artistic, creative, and typically are more emotionally driven. Now, if you did the test, which one are you?
I was today years old when I found out that self-inking stamps have 2 pads in them.
Running out. So you just push this down slightly and then pinch the red to lock it. Now turn it over to the back and you're just gonna push this out right here. Comes out the other side. Here's the side that I've been using. There's another side. So now I just face the side that's blank down on the rubber part and push it back in. Snap it back into place, and now I have more ink.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but if you add milk to a bowl, drop in some food coloring, and touch it with a Q-tip, you'll see nothing happens. But add some Dawn, and this is what happens.
If you find you're always struggling wrapping oddly shaped gifts, this Christmas wrapping hack is for you. So instead of just wrapping the paper around the item, you're going to cut your paper and then fold it into thirds, overlapping just a bit and taping. Next, you're going to fold up the bottom. Then separate the 2 pieces and flatten out the corners to create a diamond. Now fold the top and bottom corners in toward the middle and tape in place. Once you have your item inside, just fold the top of the bag over to the back side and then use a hole puncher to punch 2 holes for your ribbon to go through. And you're done. Like and follow this video for more tips and hacks.
Okay, so legit, I just found out, just now, you can peel both directions. What have I been doing?
Okay, am I the only one that didn't know this? You know that tab underneath your mirror? If you flip it, it takes all the bright lights away. What the F?
You were today years old when you found these out. The drawer under your oven isn't actually used to store pans. It's actually made to keep your food warm until you're ready to eat it. If you turn your toothbrush around, you'll notice a rough material on the back. Well, that part of your toothbrush is actually made to clean your tongue. On a Tic Tac container, have you ever noticed the tiny little indent on the lid? Well, it's actually a Tic Tac dispenser to serve you 1 Tic Tac at a time.
So a student came up to me and he had an injury, and I was like, well, what happened? He's like, well, I was playing touch and go and I fell. And I was like, wait, what is touch and go? And he's like, tag? And I was like, oh. Touch and go, tag.
Where have I been?
Life hacks you'll thank me for, part 2. If you want an easy way to core your strawberry without having to deal with a knife and cutting all the tops off, just use a straw. The top pops right off. If the top flap of your boxes never stays shut, simply tuck in the sides, then fold in each of the sides and press, and then tuck that top flap into the pocket you created. This will help keep that top flap shut and keep your food fresh a little bit longer. If you're tired of having to find and or get your roll of tape started, just use one of those plastic things that comes on a bag of bread. Like and follow for more life hacks.
You can just cut it away.
So what's the point of digging it out? So there's no peels in the mashed potato. Who wants peels in mashed potatoes?
I was today years old when I learned this. Magnet, wall, stud finder.
Life hacks you'll thank me for, part 11. Did you know that the lines on a Solo cup can actually act as measurement marks for alcohol measurements? This line right here is equivalent to a pint of beer. The next line down is 12 ounces, which is a standard beer bottle size. This line is 5 ounces, which is approximately 1 serving of wine, and this one is 1 fluid ounce, which equals a shot. If you need to freeze ice cubes in a pinch, use hot water instead of cold water. It actually freezes faster. This is actually called the Mpemba effect. If you crack an egg and accidentally get shell in your bowl, the fastest way to remove your shell is actually using the remaining piece of your eggshell to get the smaller piece out. The sharp edge of the shell is able to cut through the whites as opposed to using your fingers, which just slide the shell around. Like and follow for more life hacks.
I was today years old when I realised the Audi A1s do this in the boot and do this bit. Oh, there you go. And I know what you're thinking. I was like, Frankie, you really shouldn't be touching this. But no, it's all right. It's all right. Pulls out like this. Wham. Bam. And if, but more like when your little Audi breaks down. There you go.
Life hacks you'll thank me for, part 1. You know how every time you go to pull out a piece of aluminum foil, the whole tube comes out? Well, there's these little tabs on either side of the box. You just push those in and it holds the tube in place. Okay, do you know why those plastic pasta spoons have a hole in the middle of them? They're actually supposed to be used to measure out a single serving size of pasta. Did you know that most medicine bottles that have the child-proof caps can actually be flipped over and used on the other side so that they're much easier to open? This is especially handy for the elderly. Like and follow for more life hacks.
I was today years old when I found out that someone tells you to break a leg before an audition because they hope you end up in a cast. A TV show pilot is called a pilot because it's the first time it's on air. This little piggy went to the market doesn't mean the pig went grocery shopping. It means the pig literally went to the market. Pinterest is called Pinterest because you pin your interest. When someone tells you to hold your horses, they're telling you to be stable. Like a stable holds horses. Sand is called sand because it's in between the sea and land. Sand. A division symbol is just a fraction with dots replacing the numerator and denominator. Did I just not know this?
Confession time. I was yesterday years old when I figured out what this was for. I used to think that it was some kind of lid or something that didn't pertain to me, and I would just pop it off and throw it away. I used to always get the syringe all dirty, or I would try and pour the last little bit in the top to get the medicine in there. And yesterday I decided not to take it off and just push it in the bottle and see what would happen. Come to find out, that's exactly what I'm supposed to do. Now you have a nice, neat little hole that you can get the medicine out without making a mess. Mind you, I've had kids for 3 years. Why did it take me this long to figure it out?